Hello, this is a Democrat point, and I'm Key. And as I've said before in my other broadcast, I'm looking to run for the 9th Congressional District in Florida. Um, and this is just a platform I'm using to get my voice out there, my message out there. Recently, there's all kind of things that's going around. And one of the things I want to talk about or address, is the scenario with gas prices. Wow, almost $4 a gallon. Do we remember back between 2001 and 2008, how gas prices went up to $4, $4.50, $5, almost $5. Some places $5 in this nation. In Florida, $3.50, $3.50, $4 in some places. Remember what happened when the Democrats took over? The House had the Senate, and this president, Barack Obama, was elected. Remember how gas prices just dropped down to well under $3. Some places $2.50, $2.75. I think the average is around $2.55. And as soon as the Republicans took over again, got control of one part of Congress, the House, gas prices went above $3 once again. And now there seems to be a problem going on because people lose sight of exactly what's going on out here. And I've said this before, Republicans and conservatives, they make things, they create problems. They make false claims, they lie. They lie. They fabricate all this, whatever it is. And one of the things is about gas. Because now they're trying to blame it on the president. And they say, well, this is going to stymie his election. It's about the gas prices, the economy, the cost of gas. But the one thing they forgot is that, hold up, just 4 months ago, in the beginning of the Republican presidential run primaries, it was about jobs. Oh, he promised it would be under 8%. And now that it's around 8%, they've got to get off of that. Remember Michelle Obama? It'll be 8%, 8%, 8%, 8%, but it's still 10%. But now it's about 8%. And we see that over the last few years, over 4 million jobs have been saved and created. 1.5 million jobs in the private sector. Wow. But now they're trying to make it about the economy. So that means you got to think about things. If it's about gasoline prices, why aren't they doing something about it? Why isn't this congressman for the 9th District, Mr. Bilakis, doing about it? Congressman Bilakis doing anything about it? Why isn't any of the Congress people from Florida doing anything about it? They want to blame the president, but yet they don't want to work with the president to address the problem. The reason why the gas prices are so high in America is because the Republicans have control of the House of Representatives, and they're blocking anything on the Senate to do, or any measures, steps we could take towards addressing this issue. Who caused this problem? It's kind of coincidental, isn't it? When you think about it. How can we cure this problem? We're very direct. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that kind of unclear? Let me rewind a second. Just a few months ago, the Koch brothers, one of the Koch brothers, went to Iran, of all people, of all locations in the nation, went to Iran. Why did he go there? Because now here we are, fast forward, several months later, Iran is allegedly causing the gas prices to rise in America. But Iran has not taken any measures against America. Iran has taken measures against the United Kingdom, Spain, France. They haven't cut production from what I've come to know. They haven't cut any production to America. So why is the gas prices in America skyrocketing? I'll tell you why. It's a problem that the Republicans have created. Their unwillingness to regulate the oil companies. Their insistence on continue to pay out corporate welfare. And I said the corporate welfare, and I'm not just throwing that word around to be throwing it around saying corporate welfare or corporate welfare. No, it's corporate welfare. These subsidies, these tax breaks. The subsidies was made for one thing, when oil companies was doing bad. But now with record-setting profits into the billions and billions and billions, over the hundreds of billions of dollars. It is no longer needed. But the Republicans refuse to address that. And in the same time, they want to impact or increase the financial woes on the average citizen. Bellakis has refused. He has refused to speak up for Floridians, which amazed me that in this area of Central Florida, where the Republican Party has constantly used and abused and ignored and treated this area of Central Florida, the I-4 corridor, as a bunch of, I hate to say it, but a bunch of second-class, fourth-class citizens as their domestic servants. They constantly do it because they know they will always win. They know Bellakis is gonna it's gonna be hard to beat him. But you know what? I'm willing to take that chance. I need 7,000 signatures on the side note. But back to what I was saying. And it's because of his failure to try and pass legislation to stymie this impact, this fleecing of the citizens of Central Florida by the oil companies, who, once again, Koch Industries, the main culprits, Koch Industries, who financed, supported candidates like a Rick Scott, who turned away 25,000 jobs, $2 billion that was slated to create 25,000 jobs, that was already appropriated for Florida through the hard work and efforts of the Democrats in the last Congressional Congress. Who else? Marco Rubio, who has no idea what he's talking about. He's all over the place. The son of an exile who we found out that, hold up, his father wasn't an exile. His father was actually a very proud immigrant who got his immigration papers at in the mid-1950s, 1956. Marco Rubio, who was one of the, I believe, 2 senators to vote against flights leaving Tampa International going directly to Cuba. Who failed to stand up and fight for NASA. Marco Rubio, who said people say anything to get elected. when Charlie Crist leveled charges against him of him mismanaging or abusing the account, the Republican account, misusing public funds, state funds. And it turns out that, hey, you know what? He did do it. Oh, sorry. In case you didn't get a chance to read the correction that was done when, in the Tampa Bay Times. Yeah, Tampa Bay Times. I believe it was done in December. Early January of 2012. When they said there was a pants on fire when Charlie Crist said that Marco Rubio was guilty of this and guilty of that, and they said no, that's a pants on fire. PoliticalFactCheck.com. Rachel Maddow happened to call out, and I was like, I knew I should have said it first. But anyway, without deviating, the problems, as I continually say, Republicans create the problems and then they run against it. They break things and then they run against the outcome of what happens after they break something. They cause problems and then they run against it. And I just want to be clear about this. Once again, I need 7,000 signatures, as a side note, to be put on the ballot to run in the 9th Congressional District of Florida. Because the candidate that we have here, this Congressman Bill-Ackes, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, because I could pronounce it a few other different ways. Bill like kiss asses, and other different things, but I'm not going to do that. Is not doing anything to stop or to try to slow down the fleecing of Central Florida, or try and help stymie the financial hardship that's being brought upon the citizens of Central Florida. And I'm Keith. And this has been a Democrat Point in the platform, hopefully, that you are listening to and you take to heart when I say it's time to put a stop to it. If we want to do something about these gas prices, then we need to have Democrats in the House, the Senate, and in the White House. Because once again, whenever Democrats are in office, gas prices go down. Whenever the Republicans get one part of Congress, gas prices go up. And in this particular case, it's kind of hypocritical when the financier of the so-called Tea Party and the conservatives happen to be benefiting from these gas prices that are being in charges that are being levied upon Floridians and American people. Because of speculation. Because once again, I can't recall in the past few days Iran raising gas prices or oil prices or cutting the flow of oil to America. So why are we paying on these speculative prices? Why are Americans, why are Floridians paying? No congressperson should be supporting this. Every congressperson should be riled up against this, against their constituents being having to have or being subjected to additional financial hardship by these oil prices, these gas prices at the pump, continually taking money and funding out of their pockets. And this is, once again, Keith. And thank you for listening.